Hello world Generity lying before us. Today an enthralling chapter awaits as we delve into possibilities. Let's begin by activating the generator.
AZORES.
RC or remote control adds to this generator a notable feature that stands out: electronic fuel injection designed for optimal performance and reliability.
Say is highly effective.
In the fuel supply.
What does this mean?
Well, you really have savings for that.
Effectiveness it has.
Of power cuts and power contributions when efforts are required. It's a team for hard work. For example, if you are thinking of buying a strong inverter welding rig, this would be your rig. Without a doubt, 10,000 watts that allow you to move. Imagine.
So that.
We're going to start it up because it's not a normal generator. I already tell you this electronic injection, and we are going to go step by step. At the startup, we do the intro and see it. Without delay, we will proceed to add gasoline, a crucial step. Beginning with carefully removing the plug ensures proper functionality. There it is. Look, I'm gonna take the filter out every time you put gas in the generators. Don't take this filter off. Okay, I'll take it off. Why? Because I have a funnel with a filter, but if you don't have a filter in the funnel, don't even think of removing this because you are going to add garbage inside. And that'll be a problem, huh? At first, hey, one day you pour gas, well, I didn't have garbage, but in the end, you end up throwing garbage in the warehouse, okay? Well, we're going to add this 10L clip. I'm going to add about 5L, which is enough to start. Well, there it is. 5L of fuel gasoline, well drain in place, filter your site and plug put on. Since gasoline put on, we go with the oil. I have it hanging from the bureau, a little suspended, because that way it is not difficult for me to turn it over. Here I have the motor. We see this is a transverse motor, huh? Is the engine running like this? There is no alternator because this is inverter technology, and as I said before, it has fuel electronics, that is electronic injection. Well, and we put ourselves in this position. Here we go. Look. Here is the oil inlet, and what we see here is to change the oil, to remove the oil when the generator is going to have the first 20
hours.
That we have to go back. You have to remove the oil at 8 p.m., check the filters, and then once it has been changed that time at 8 p.m., then 100 hours from now on. What oil does 1040 put here? 1.1L. Okay, I have this jack that suits me wonderfully because as we can see, I already have 1.1 set. That is, this is the oil that this generator carries, so I shouldn't have any difficulty. I'm going to use this funnel, okay, to put the oil that seems simple to me as we see, okay, and we're going to put it inside little by little. There it is. Yeah, it fits in perfectly. Normally the oil enters well because the crankcase has the ventilation through the rods, through the ventilation which has from the crankcase towards the rocker cover. From the rocker cap, it is this rubber that we see here. Look, go. This rubber is the one that ventilates the crankcase towards the air filter. That is, the oil is entering well. Because there is a vent, that is, it is not a closed crankcase. Obviously, okay, well, we kicked him out. The 1.1 goes in perfect, absolutely nothing spills. Now, after pouring the oil, we will connect the battery and then we will place the ventilation, that is the expiration of gases. Because we're in a closed place and we're gonna put the gas expiration to get it going, this is essential to remember that we have thrown a generator. An entire generator should never operate in a closed place where there are people. Be very careful about starting a generator in a basement and getting upstairs in the basement to watch TV. Because if you fall asleep, you might not wake up. That is. The generator always has to be outside or be well ventilated so that fumes do not pass through you. Where are you? He calls it a sweet death, and there is no sweet death. Okay, watch the generators. Well, here I think everything will have happened there. Come on, there it is. Well, the oil is already on, so let's continue. We have already put the oil that you have seen, we have put the gasoline, and we are going to connect the battery, which in this generator is done with little hands. We don't need tools. Look.
Please come closer to observe.
There is the battery, this you see here. I take advantage of is the cooling turbine, this.
What it does is carry a flow of air towards the plate.
Inverter, that's up here. Okay, this generator is really, the construction is spectacular. Look, here's how we're going to connect the battery. We just have to remove this flange that comes here. Okay, and we're going to release the cables. See, we already have the connection cables here. We are going to remove this cover. Here, this protector he brings, okay, we already have them free. As we see, there's no way to go wrong, okay, so we're going to put positives together here on this connector, okay, we're going to connect the positive and the negative, so we squeeze this tight and we would already have it connected with permission here, okay, I connect it now, look, there I have it already connected, okay, come on, then with battery connected. Let me double check everything is securely in position. Yes, it's perfectly and securely attached.
That's it.
If you are going to leave the generator unused for a long time, disconnect the battery so that the battery is not damaged, okay? And leave the deposit. That, as I always tell you, I fill to the top so that there is no rust. In gasoline, the tank, that is, there is no loss of octane there. Well, we've got everything. Now we're going to put the suction in the exhaust pipe and we're going to start it up. Okay, well, we already put the gas in.
Oil, and we have
connected to the last battery, and now we would only be left with the starting test as it is electronic injection. When we make contact, we will hear the injection pump that is taking gasoline. It is possible, depending on how the generator is, that it has to make more than one start attempt until it is filled, that is, until it injects as much as it is worth, and there the air from the injector escapes and begins to spray. Well, we put it, there's the sound, I hear it from the bomb, and now it started. As you can see, great. It also has, as I say, remote control to start the remote control. We give the contact, the pump sounds again until it acquires pressure. It stands still waiting for it to start and perfect for stopping. We'll give it here. Okay, here to stop, here to start, okay? And we already have the team at rest. Well, so far it's simple. A 10,000 watt electronic injection equipment put into operation. More information, because on this website that you are seeing here, you can see the technical sheet of this equipment and others that we have already talked about on the channel and you are getting to know through this channel. Well, the Energy brand, our products, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, because the more we are, the more people will reach this information and it is good for everything. Well, I don't say knowing about these things, so nothing. Thank you for subscribing, and if you like the video, give it a like, which will be appreciated. And an important piece of advice, yes, it is forbidden to stop learning.